All right, welcome to episode one, Chat with Kip. This is crazy. Y'all don't understand how important my guest is today. If anybody knows me more than anyone else in this entire world, it's my mother, Liz Pruitt. And I can't wait for her to share the stories of me growing up, the stories of her growing up as well. And an interesting fact about her, she had me when she was 15 years old. And it's amazing the accomplishment that she has done raising me and my sister. So I want to welcome Liz Pruitt with us here today and to talk a little bit about us. First, I'm gonna let her tell them about yourself a little bit and go from there.
First, I want to say thank you so much, son, for having me here this morning. I feel truly blessed to be on this journey with you. And I want to let you know that I'm very proud of you and all of your accomplishments. But yes, we go a long way back, but it's been good.
Yeah.
And yes, you were brought up in Liberty, born in Liberty. You weigh 5 pounds. You were a little bitty baby when you were born, but you were cute. And I can see greatness in your eyes because you had the brightest eyes. And and I just want to say I love you so much.
I love you too, Mama. How was it being pregnant at 15 years old and having a child at 15 years while you was in high school? I know you was a superstar athlete as well. You did track, softball, and you was the oldest of your siblings, of the sisters. I know Uncle Artie was a little bit older. And tell us about that. Like, what experience did you have knowing that you was pregnant in high school and about to have your first child?
It was very scary, not knowing how I was going to take care of you. But after a while, I realized that I have to take care of this baby. And I did everything that I could to make sure that you had everything that you needed. And it was just one of those things where I knew that I needed to go to work, and that's what I did.
Okay.
And I knew that I needed to finish my classes so that I would be able to raise you.
Okay. It's funny. Let's talk about work a little bit. I know you worked at the Texas Department of Health Services. Was that?
Yes, I worked right after I had you. I worked at the Golden Charm Nursing Home,
Okay.
and then I went to work for the Department of Health, and then I got my first permanent job with the Texas Department of Human Services.
That's right. That's right. And I know you also had an entrepreneur spirit because I learned a lot from you as well and being an entrepreneur. Tell us about the first entrepreneur business, the printing company.
Yes, I started a print company um, for about 5 years, and then that's where I learned how to work with customers. I took a few classes just to be able to understand the books, understand what it's going to take to run a business. But that was truly a journey for me.
Absolutely. What was the hardest part of that journey?
I would have to say going out marketing and trying to get more customers.
Okay.
And but we were able to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we talked about Liberty. Let's talk about the move to Baytown. So we know we both kind of grew up in Liberty, and then when I was about, I guess, junior high age, is when we moved to Baytown, and I guess that's when I got into sports.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about the move to Baytown, and then attending all my activities, because I know I played sports from it started off at football season, then basketball season, and then
Yes.
baseball and track at the same time. And then I tried to play tennis. I tried to do everything possible because sports, I guess, was everything to me.
Well, the move to Baytown was a good move to Baytown. That's where our jobs took us, and that's how you all winded up in school in Baytown. But Baytown had a lot to offer at that time. It was a good place to raise a family, and so yes, you were involved with the sports, and It didn't matter to you what sport it was. It could be any sport. Soccer, uh, football, basketball, track. It just didn't matter to you. I eventually had to let you know that, hey, son, you're going to need to pick two sports. Focus on those two because we were not able to go from football to basketball to track. We had to find out what you really really like,
Yeah.
and that's what we did.
In your honest opinion, do you think that what two sports would you like me to play? Because I felt like growing up in Baytown and just growing up in Texas, period, football was everything. So I feel like football was I didn't have any choice but to play football, right? Because everybody played
Mhm,
football growing up in Texas. But honestly, my passion was baseball.
mhm.
And I thought I was really, really good at baseball until the first time I had to sit the bench when I got to high school. And I was so surprised that I was on the bench. And that kind of made me not want to play baseball anymore. Basketball, I knew I wasn't going to be tall.
Mhm.
I just knew I had heart and I was an athlete. And track, I thought I was okay, but I definitely wasn't the fastest one on the team, but I was the best teammate all the time. So tell me what two sports you thought I should have played
I
or stuck
actually,
with.
yes, I actually think you picked the best two,
Okay.
which was football and track. And just so happened those are my favorite two. But I think you were very competitive in both of them. And always remember, you don't have to be the best. And you don't have to be the best person on the team, but you have to do your best. And as long as you do your best, I think you can strive.
I 100% agree. And let me give y'all a little bit of background about Baytown. Baytown is more of an oil and gas city. Baytown is with it's just hard workers, blue collar work ethics. It's just a grinder city, right? Grinders and hustlers. And man, I feel like everybody was just super hard workers and super honest. When you come from the east side of Houston, I feel like it's just a different kind of grind growing up. And it's funny, I tell people if they from Baytown, I already know that they work hard. Um, they not saying grew up on nothing because I guess we was lower middle class.
Hmm.
Would you put it like that? Um, and I feel like we set high goals for each other. Like I said, we expect to win. Like we have a winning tradition in Baytown. So the expectations of something in Baytown, like you better work hard. You better have discipline. You want to succeed because you have a responsibility of other Baytonians to be successful. And I try to surround myself with successful people, and I still keep in contact with my Baytown teammates, my Baytown friends. Baytown was everything to me, and still is. Like I still go to Baytown, still hang out with my same Baytown friends because they the one kind of molded me, took me in, and just became family. So for me, Baytown was something that was a great decision, and I love it. Like Baytown is my heart. I call it the dirty bay because we just grew up. Our water's not clean, and it's just that grimy, whatever it takes to get everything done. So let's go back to football and track. It's funny because all my family are track athletes,
Yes.
all D1 athletes, all ran track. There's about 5 or 6 of them that holds records, state titles. And it's funny, I'm not the tallest person in the family. I'm not the fastest one in the family. I'm not the strongest one in the family. But when you talk to my family, they're gonna tell you, "Oh, Kip is somebody you do not want to play with because he is super competitive. He's gonna do whatever it takes to win." And I say this to people: it's not about the talent as far as the physical ability. It's for me, it was more mental. Like I knew that I wasn't the best, so I had to find ways or outsmart my competitors. Um, so after growing up in Baytown, next was college. So I picked a small college in Wichita, Kansas called Friends University. So I already had the work ethic coming up from Baytown. And then when I got to college, man, my whole world turned upside down. I actually took everything that I learned from Baytown, from middle school and high school, and took it to Friends University. And I want you to tell them a little bit about the decision of me going to Friends University, and then we'll get a little bit more about my college life.
Yes, the Friends University scholarship, I thought that was a wonderful thing. I was very excited for you. I was a little nervous about you going a couple of states over. But then knowing your personality, no matter where you are, you seem to fit in really well. So once we drove up to Kansas, spent a little time on campus, it was probably one of the toughest things that I ever had to do is leaving you in Kansas. I probably cried while I was on campus. I cried on the way home because I didn't want to leave you in Kansas. But uh, as time passed, um, you started enjoying Kansas, and you fit in very well over there. So I didn't worry about you as much.
Okay.
I knew that you were going to be okay.
And I was definitely homesick. Like, I missed all my friends. It's funny. Man, let me tell you, my family, my mom and my dad came to every football game. They'll drive up from Baytown all the way to Wichita, Kansas every Saturday. Not even just in Wichita, Kansas. They would drive to Nebraska. They would drive to Missouri. So my career at French University, the 4 years I was playing football there, my mom never missed a game. Always came to see me, no matter where our team was at, whether it was in Wichita or the surrounding states, to watch play. Not by airplane. Let me tell you, they used to drive 9.5 hours, come watch me play a 3-hour football game, and then drive back to Houston the same day, the next day. And that meant so much to me. It's funny. My roommate in college was John Romar III, right? So I met John on my visit, and it's funny. His mom worked at Southwest Airlines at the time, so we used to have these buddy passes to fly back home all the time. And it's funny when they come see me. Me and John, we shared a room, like a 10 by 10 dorm room, and his parents used to come up there as well. And we cried so much after they left. And it's funny because we are like pretty strong football players, and we'll be in the dorm after a football game crying because our parents came up to see us, and we were so homesick. But luckily, we did really really good in football, and I made All American my freshman year, led the nation in interceptions as a freshman, and that's when I think my world changed. After I made All American, I felt like you can't go back, right? You have to make All American every year. You have to be the best, and I never had the title of being the best athlete or the best person on the team. And I probably still wasn't the best athlete or the best person on the team. It just so happened I was given the award because I had really, really great teammates. So I can't say enough about French University and the family. Coach Keys, Coach Cotton, Coach Byers took a opportunity on me and helped me succeed. Um, in saying that, I also met some really, really good friends in college, and that's when I started my business career. I took business classes. It's funny. I went to school for engineering and C++, computer programming, and after my freshman year, I did not do so well in academics because I was really concentrating on football. So my coach Keys, I was like, I'm transferring. I'm going back home. Kansas is not it. But it's funny. Coach Keys and his wife actually talked to me about staying at Friends, being with the group, being loyal to your team. And I never want to turn my back on my teammates ever. And my mom said the same thing. You cannot leave Friends. They put you on the map. Take it in and just trust the process. Um, so to talk a little bit more about Friends University, I also pledged in the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity at Wichita State. So Wichita is not as diverse as Houston, so going to Wichita was definitely a culture shock. I thought it was a baby Houston until I got there, but I met some of the most important people in my life there, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So, as your experience when we came home for the holidays, for the summer, and I brought some of my fraternity brothers and my teammates back home to Baytown, what did you think about them and the people I was surrounding myself with?
Oh, the folks in Kansas are some wonderful people, and all of your friends, even now throughout the years, you've got some wonderful friends. They're very supportive of you no matter what you do, where you go. They will come to you, and if you need anything, they will be there for you. So I would have to applaud you for your circle and the people that you chose to be in your circle. They're just some wonderful folks. Well, you still communicate pretty much with all of them, and so we were really blessed with you winding up in Kansas.
Absolutely. And man, like my friends are everything to me, and my family is everything to me. And I think it's important for you to surround yourself with successful people. And if the people around you not successful, help them be successful, right? We hold each other accountable. It's funny. We used to have these shirts in at Baytown saying IAA shirts, right? I am accountable. Hold yourself accountable, right? And even though you are a little piece of a team, make sure you do your best to do your job correctly. So I took everything I learned playing sports, growing up in Liberty, Baytown, Kansas, and brought it to business. So now I am a serial entrepreneur. When I say I like the grind. I like the fun of it. Um, I didn't know what I wanted to do after sports, and it's funny when I ended my sports career, I was like, what should I do now?" So I graduated from college, came home, started working for Enterprise Rental Car. I thought that was a good corporate job to step into. Did that for a while. Then I got into real estate. I fell in love with real estate. And it's funny, my roommate I mentioned earlier, John Romar, actually got me into real estate. And it's funny, John Romar's tree of people he put into real estate and the success they are having is crazy. Everybody talk about the Bill Belichick tree or the Bill Parcells tree, but man, if y'all really look at John Romar tree and all the people that he has put into real estate and made it happen, um, it has been tremendous. So my journey started in real estate. Did new home sales, worked for CoStar Group, who has apartments.com, LoopNet, and then we created the title company. And it's funny, my mom worked at the title company with us as well. Tell me a little bit about your experience with the title company and what you've seen things happen in the real estate world.
Yes, now the title company has been a great joy for me. It gives me joy to see people come in and be able to purchase property, especially the young couples, because sometimes I know it's a struggle for the young people, and I can see the joy in their faces, and so that has been something that I have enjoyed doing.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the greatest feelings. I knew I wanted to be in real estate. I didn't want to be a realtor or a lender. And it's funny, we was playing poker, I think during COVID, and my friends was like, "Hey kid, why don't you just start a title company? You know everybody. You have great relationships and you have to use the title company to do closings."
Yes.
And I felt like the title company was the perfect position for me because it's the last people you see in the real estate transaction and you get to give them the key. Everybody happy, pretty much
Yes.
happy. We take a lot of pictures and we have a good time at the
Yes.
title company. I feel like the first time I bought my house when I was 20, I think I bought my house when I was 27. That's when I purchased my first house. And just going through that experience made me want to get into real estate. But it was hard to tap into. And I find it a tremendous satisfaction of business and just the whole buying a home and building generation wealth through purchasing real estate. And one of the other business I have is the tax business, express tax refund services. And it's funny, I thought, man, it's just tax preparation, right? Data entry. But it's funny that the tax business actually is my bread and butter. And it's really how I really make most of my funds. The tax business, we make probably about the same amount of money we do in 4 months that we do all year with the title. So all my fraternity brothers and some football teammates, we got franchises all over the US of the tax business. And people don't know that I do tax preparation and we looking to grow. So there's opportunity for different people if they are interested to get into this tax business where they can make six figures as well. I would love to show y'all that. My mom started doing the taxes with me maybe 3 years ago. I've been doing taxes 14 years now. And when I say it's a something that changed my whole lifestyle, which y'all hear more about in these few episodes, I think it is worth taking a listen to. Mom, can you tell them about the stuff that you learned in the tax business and the opportunity of the income and revenue that you've seen?
Yes, the tax business is probably a good lucrative business. It's a lot of data entry, but as long as you enter everything in there right, Everything is all good.
Absolutely.
But it's a, if someone is looking to start the business, I would have to say it's probably one of the better businesses to start.
Yep. Tell them what kind of numbers you see. Like, let's talk about my, I guess, main two franchise owner, Kenneth Scott and Abram Oliver.
Mhm.
Abe is in Kansas. He was my frat brother. We met in Wichita, Kansas in maybe 97. He was my dean of pledgees. So he was my big brother who pledged me into Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. And we always maintain the relationship. It's funny, like my people that I met in Wichita, we stick together. We see each other once a year. We travel so much. And I'm can't wait to tell y'all about these traveling adventures that we have as well. But Abe He's from Kansas City, Missouri. Um, one of the smartest gentlemen that I know, knows a lot of history, always empowering the community, always speaking to the community. And his thing was, hey, Kip, let's get back to the community. And I thought the tax business is the best way to get back to the community. A went from making probably about 30,000 a year to now anywhere between 100 to 150 every year just during tax season, just in these 5 months. So you'll hear from Abe later on. Definitely bring him on as a guest. And then Kenneth Scott as well. I hate to tell the income, but I'm a factual guy. I like to get to the numbers. It's funny, I'm a nerd. People think I'm just a football player or just an athlete, but I am a super nerd. I am good at numbers and good with people. So this is my nerdy side. Did some numbers, and like when I say my friend K Scott or Kenneth, um, he went from making, I think, maybe 50, 60,000 to well over six figures. Now I don't want to give his exact income, but he is doing successful. He's been with me for about 7 years in the tax business, and now we have turned it into something that is tremendously, tremendously good and changed both of our lifestyles and some other people around us lifestyles. I think I received the text that I showed you from one of our tax preparers in Kansas. And can you tell them what the text kind of stated?
Yes, the text message was, "Hey brother, thank you for all that you have done for me and my family." And he said that his family, um, their life had been truly changed, and you have helped them tremendously. And so he was very, very thankful for everything that you had done for him.
And man, for me, that's like playing sports and being a good teammate. I felt like that was the most treasurable thing that I took, and it was important for me to hear that from him. And he's not even one of my teammates. He's a teammate. And he was like, "Man, y'all changed my whole lifestyle and helped my family out." So that touched me tremendously.
Yes, and it touched me too.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So man, if you have more questions about the tax business, please reach out to me. I will leave some my information for y'all to reach out to me because I would love to speak with some other people that's interested in making six figures and helping me grow this business and owning their own franchise and leaving a legacy for their family as well. Um, so let's talk about another business venture that we both have. And actually, you taught me this business venture, and I kind of jumped in after you. So let's talk about your traveling company, your traveling agent, and talk about all the travel stuff that we do. And it's our passion. If y'all haven't experienced traveling with our family,
you need to.
oh, absolutely. Like it is
It's wonderful.
amazing. So we decided that we are opening up a traveling club, a traveling group where we can travel together. So tell them about how that kind of came about. How I know you like to travel, and this is probably gonna be a big portion of today's conversation because traveling is everything to us. We
Yes.
really work to travel. So tell them how you got into traveling and what made you gain interest in traveling and not making money traveling.
Well, first, as you can see, our family, we do a multiple of things, and we enjoy a lot of things. Traveling is probably one of the best things that our family enjoy doing together. And we take an annual, well, it's about every 2 years, we'll go on this big, huge a family trip, usually about 35 to 45 family members, and we have the best of time. We normally would fly off to some island, and eat real good, sleep real good. Some that like to drink, they drink real good, but they have a really good time. And and I've been doing the travel business now mm, for maybe about 10 years or more. And I enjoy pulling uh, trips together for groups or maybe a family reunion or a class reunion. But yes, those adventures are they're so memorable. You will never forget them.
Right. Tell them about some of the places that we've been to or we traveled to and some of your favorite places to travel to.
Um, we as a family, we traveled to Jamaica. We traveled to Turks and Caicos. We went to Can no, it was Cozumel
Hmm.
together on a cruise. And then of course I've traveled all over the place. And so if I had to pick a place that I enjoyed the most, I would have to say Vancouver, Canada, was one of my favorite places. Uh, and I could go back there again.
um,
But I love it.
yep. And tell them about our. So me, my mom, my sister have been trying to hit all 50 states in the
Yes.
U.S. My mom is a little bit ahead of us, and I think. Well, actually, my sister's doing really, really good
She's
too. Tell
doing
them how many more states that you have left.
okay. So I've got Alaska and Montana, and I hope to go to one of them this year, and then maybe the other one next year.
So you're definitely gonna be done
I'll
within
be
the
done.
next 365 days.
Yes,
You'll knock off, check all your 50 states off.
that's
I
correct.
have quite a few more. I haven't been to the Northwest areas much, but I think I have like maybe about 14 more to go. And I started mine with my wife Meredith. We started our mission, our goal since we've been married. So we was like, hey, we want to hit all 50 states from the time that we have married, and we've been married for almost 4 years now. And I think we have about 15 more states to go,
Hmm.
and then
That's
we'll be
good.
done as well. But the traveling business is great, and I want to mention a couple of things because we talked about the traveling group. I went on a 7-day private yacht tour or trip with another couple of hours. It was a chef and a captain, and then us four on this catamaran, and we sailed the U.S. and British Virgin Islands for 7 days straight. So we lived in the ocean for 7 days, and I thought that was one of the most amazing trips ever. I think Europe was really, really amazing when we hit the 5 countries in 11 days.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to the next one. It's funny, my mom put together these amazing trips for us, like the Hawaii trip. We did the island hop. We went to for our honeymoon. We did, I think, 3 islands in 7 days, which was amazing. And the road to Hana was such an amazing
Wonderful.
thing to do. And then I felt so good. We came back and we took a second honeymoon to Cabo,
Yeah.
which my mom loves Cabo as well. And we just experienced a lot of travel. I feel that I want to retire, but I want to retire traveling. Like I want to
Yes.
make
Me too.
sure that we travel. So we travel quite a bit. We probably travel at least maybe once every other month at the very least, if
Yes.
not every month. But traveling is a big thing for us. And if you have any traveling needs, please reach out to us. Liz is a great travel agent. She definitely price everything out. Make sure we get the best price. We getting the best accommodations. And it's funny when we do travel and tell them, oh, we booked through Liz. Usually the places that we go to, oh, they set it all off for us. Like we had the Olympics. We had beach Olympics in Jamaica. Like I said, my family is super, super competitive, and it's about 30 of us. And if you ever seen the fastest beach relay team ever possible, we definitely have it. Man, like
It was fun.
oh, it was fun. But let me tell you, we have gotten to arguments and fights because we're so competitive. Like everybody, and it's fun. We bring out trophies, we bring out the championship belts, we bring out the rings. So if you don't win, and my family is not shy about telling that they won, like they are winners. So if you don't win, you're gonna hear it for the rest of the trip. So travel has been such an amazing thing for us, and just experiencing life in general. What's some important things you would say for successful people, as far as their business? What things you think they should do to make themselves successful?
Well, with my faith, I do believe that if you start your day off with God, uh, live your life according to the Bible, I think that's a great way to be successful and to get as much knowledge as you can. Whatever business that you're planning on doing, try to learn as much as you can about the business and talk to as many people as you can just to get a feel to see if that's going to be a good business for you. And whatever you do, you want to have a passion for it. Uh, because if you don't have a passion for what you're doing, it's probably not going to be successful.
I agree with you. I know you mentioned faith,
Hmm.
and I feel like for us growing up, God was everything. Believing in yourself, believing in your religion, was pretty much everything. I mean, our or your mom and my grandma nanny made us go to church all the time, even though she ain't go to church all the time, but she made us go to church
That's right.
all the time. And my grandpa buddy, man, it's funny. Like my grandparents was such amazing people, hard workers. They was entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Um, my grandmother cleaned people houses every day. And they also had a cafe, which I love. I learned how to play dominoes at this cafe. I learned how to be competitive. I learned how to drink coffee at this cafe when I was about 5 years old. And my grandpa, we watched baseball all day, all night. Huge Astros fan. Um, and my uncle Artie is a pastor of a church, and faith is strong in our family.
Hmm.
Like, it's funny going to school in Kansas. I went to a Quaker school, so French University is actually was founded by the Quakers, and it helped me more realize like different religions and stuff like that. So faith for us plays an important part just in our life in general. I know you go to church every Sunday. Um, Faithfully every
Hmm.
Sunday.
Faithfully.
Um, and also, I know your husband passed away, who was the pastor of a church, and um, he talked to me quite a bit about having faith. Because even though I feel like I really, really believe in God, I'm probably not the most religious person ever. Um, just I don't know, but I definitely believe in God, and my faith is strong. But he taught me so much. Can you tell me a bit about where the faith came from and just growing up? Did Nanny and Buddy always tell y'all to go to church, or where did it come from?
I would have to say it started uh, with mom. And like you said, she uh, she was going to make sure that we were in Sunday school, church every Sunday. She was going to make sure we were at the church on Wednesdays as well. And then for me, I think my faith actually became probably the strongest with my husband, being the pastor of the church. I can say that he taught me a lot of things, and if there was something I didn't understand, he would be able to answer those questions for me. So my faith became even stronger with my husband, and I would have to say to this day, he was the person who made me a better person.
That's awesome to hear. Like Dwight Pruitt was such a cool gentleman. Um, Definitely down there. It's funny. Like he'll call me and say, "Your mom worried about you. Can you give her a shout?" Or, "Hey, she's looked at the stuff on your Facebook post. Make sure you kind of talk to her and kind of tell her like, what are you doing?" So man, very supportive guy always. Um, Rest in heaven, Dwight. I appreciate everything you done for us as well. And thank you for taking care of my mom also. Um, so let's talk about we talked about faith. Let's talk about some stuff about me growing up. Like I know I wasn't the best. I always think I was the greatest thing ever, right? I always think I was the good guy, always doing the right things. But I know there had to be some points where I wasn't just the super polished kid, right? I had a huge stuttering problem growing up. I
You
couldn't answer the
did?
telephone. It's funny, my sister make fun of me, like, "Hey, these girls calling the house, but you can't even talk to them. So you're never gonna have a girlfriend because you stutter. You can't even say hello on the phone." So I used to have to pat my side of my hip to say hello. So I used to be like, "Hey, come on, get it out, Kip." And now I'm over here doing presentations, talking to everybody. And I don't know what happened. It just kind of went away
Right.
after a while.
Yeah.
But tell people about me growing up. And I know my grandmother thought I was really soft, kinda. I grew up around all
Girls.
females, all
Yeah.
girls. They used to put barrettes in my hair, probably put makeup on me, and I always was around females,
Mhm.
right? Which I think for me made me better respect women and womanhood and being successful. And I preach that to all women and males that you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't really believe in discrimination. I don't believe in racism.
Mhm.
And it's funny, growing up in Baytown, I feel like it's so diverse, and going to school in Kansas. And people say, Kip, you don't experience racism. I do experience it, but I guess I don't see it because just playing football is so diverse, right? We have people from all over. Um, so I guess I didn't see it as much as other folks. And I just feel like everybody is created equal and we should have all the same opportunities. Um, but tell people about growing up, because I know you probably experienced something a little different than I am,
Well,
or that I have experienced.
well, you probably think that you were a bad person, but I would have to say that you were very outgoing. Uh, you were probably one of the most popular um persons at your high school during your time, and because of that, everybody knew you. Matter of fact, when you were born, um, my brother gave you your name, Kip. A lot of people think that's your nickname, but that's your real name. And I was a little hesitant about giving you that name, thinking that you might not like it. But you've told me numerous of times, Mom, I love my name. And so I'm very thankful for that. But
Tell them how that
it's
name came about, cause tell them like you was in track and all that
mhm,
good stuff. Cause people do ask, like, "Where you get your name Kip
where
from?"
you get the
And I tell
name.
them it's an African name, cause people think,
Yes.
Kip is like a frat
Well,
frat boy name, right?
yes. So you got your name is Kip Keno Edwards. So Kip Keno is he was a famous track star. And so my brother thought that it would be fitting to give you that name because I love track. And so after uh I looked up Kip Keno, read all about him, and I said, "Wow, that's amazing." I said, "Let's go ahead and give him the name Kip Keno." So that's how we came up with that name.
Okay. So y'all, I know you said I wasn't bad. I know I used to get in trouble a little bit because I talked a lot in elementary school. Had a lot of
You
friends.
had a lot of friends.
But I did pretty good in school. It ain't like I was all A's and B's, but I was a solid B,
Hmm.
some C's, and some A's. I was good at math. Um,
Well, my one of my fondest memories, and it was kind of funny, but I felt kind of bad that we did play this prank on you. It was time for graduation, and we called the radio station. We asked them to call you that morning and ask you to spell a word.
oh, I misspelled the word. What was so crazy? She ain't tell you I was in spelling bees growing up. So I felt like I was a pretty good speller, and I probably just finished the spelling bee. And then you can go ahead and finish.
Well, the radio host was trying to say that if you spelled the word correctly, then you would be able to graduate, no problem. But if you don't spell it, you're gonna have problems with graduating. Well, you did misspell the word, but of course you found out later that it was just a prank. But I don't remember, Kip, what the word. Do you
I
remember
don't
what
either,
the
but I
word?
know it was 97.9 who
Yeah.
called. I was right before I went to school, so I do remember. But when I said the word, I figured that I need to correct it because I did misspell it.
Yes.
I don't know the word either, but
Yeah.
that was a good one.
That was a good one. I enjoyed that one. And then there was one you were playing basketball, and I I guess one of the players kind of hit you in the eye, and so you run over to the sideline, and you had a really you stuttered really bad. And so you were trying to tell the coach that you could see a man high and you could see one low. That so your coach says, "Son, Go sit down on just go sit down over there. Because he didn't understand what you were saying. And but like you said, when you stuttered, uh I mean, it was really bad. And then all of the sudden it just went away on
Yep.
its own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny because I took some speech classes in Kansas. Like when I think when I first I'm from Texas, right? And going to school in Kansas is totally different. Our accent is totally
Different.
different. So I was so nervous to take this speech class, and I was the only minority in most of my classes at French University. Um, but I feel like it helped. Like I think the more you are prepared, you don't have to worry as much. So the stuttering kind of went away. I felt like I always be prepared. I always have a plan. And honestly, that helped me with business now. Like I always want to be prepared. I always want to have a plan because it just helps me not stutter. And it gives you confidence. I think some of the biggest things or the most important thing is just be confident in whatever you do.
Yeah,
Be prepared in what you do. Learn your craft, right? Be the best at it, even though you don't have to be the smartest
I
at
agree.
all. But you got to be willing to do what it takes to make yourself better at your industry.
I agree.
Um, what else? What else you want to talk about? You want to ask me any questions or any concerns or anything you have on your mind?
Well, I mean, I, I would like to say to you, because we haven't said anything about them. Thank you for the two grandchildren that you've given me, and they have been a great joy in my life.
Absolutely. Mine too. It's definitely challenging.
Mhm.
It's funny growing up, I didn't want to have any kids, right? My mom had me super young. So I was like, man, having kids is not it. I just wanted to play sports. It's funny when I got a little older, and finally had the opportunity to have kids, it's life changes, more
It is.
responsibility. It makes you go over and beyond. And it's funny, I feel like growing up, even though I feel like we had we had everything that we need growing up, I feel like we was okay. Um, and then I know it's things I want to change growing up, like seeing my real dad and getting to know him, but
That didn't work.
David was enough, right?
Yeah.
My stepdad, David, taught me everything I want to know about football, everything I want to know about sports in general. He was a superstar athlete at Barbers Hill.
Yes.
He won state in football, basketball, All American. I was like, man, and he was the ideal size of a real athlete, probably like 6'2", 6'3", had me working out, and he took me underneath this wing, and our common bond was sports.
Mhm.
We'll be in the backyard all day throwing footballs. He was giving me all the secrets, and thanks to him, I was able to obtain a football scholarship. And thanks to my mom, like she used to go outside and be like, "Hey, let's go race." I'm like, damn, you think you can beat me in running? Like I run track, but she ran track too, so I was a little surprised about how fast she was. Like I say, my family is super competitive, so it's not like, oh, we're gonna let you. It wasn't ever I'm gonna let you win. If you can't win, you shouldn't play. That's how they put it. Like, hey, we're not taking it easy on anyone. Um, but with my kids, my little girl's a gymnast, and now she's going to LSU. She graduates Pearland High School here shortly. Going to LSU, and then my son, Kason, he is in junior high, so he'll be playing football next year in 7th grade and running track. So we shall see. I mean, I love both of them, and I try to go over and beyond for both. I probably go too far over and beyond. Um, I don't know, but they are. It's funny. They are real quiet, kind of chill, very competitive
Yes.
as well, but a little more calm and a little more quiet and chill. Maybe that's just the generation now. I guess they are so used to being on their phones, not really interacting with people as much. So they real chill.
And then one of the things, I don't want to get too emotional, but when I lost Dwight, my husband, I do like the way how you stepped up and just made my life so much better. And I thank you. I thank you for
You will.
that. Oh.
Sorry. We can leave it like that. Well, I think that's enough for this episode. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Had a good time. Hope y'all enjoyed my story, my mom's story, and look forward to the next one. Thanks again for watching Chat with Kip, and we'll see you again soon.